Okay folks, here we go. We're up and running, and we've started a few minutes because Biggz has finally arrived in the lobby. We've got a match on the one-loss side between Tony, Sam and Biggz. We'll cover that in a minute, but what I want to do just before this match starts, it's due to start at the top of the hour, so we've got about 5 minutes or so. Just want to cover a couple of things. We'll look at the bracket. Let's get rid of that first of all. I hope that's better. Right, let's look at a few things. First of all, a reminder that Larry is going to be playing his winner's side match, a round 4 match, tomorrow against Cobra at 7 AM GMT. That would be 1 AM in the morning Larry's time. Cobra's from the UK, so he likes to play his matches early. And as I said previously, the only unfortunate thing is I can't see it because I'll actually be 3 hours into my shift at that time at 7 AM in the morning. But I presume it's going to be a good match. Now, there's another thing to cover. Oh, here's another one. There's a match tomorrow night, which I will be able to stream as well, provided both players turn up. And that's the same round as Larry and Cobra. And that is starting at 7:30 between Magician and Z Karaoke. Remember, these matches are a race to 16, and Bedhead is awaiting the winner of that match. Now, the other ones I want to cover are on the one-loss side because we had a major disaster last night in the lobby. It was about 20 minutes to 8 last night when all of a sudden Steve Chaplin decided he wanted to update the server and the game, and I actually mentioned in the chat that there was a tournament match about to start at the top of the hour, and sure enough he did the well, he attempted to do the update and basically broke the game. The game was broken for an hour. You couldn't the game wouldn't load, and he had to go away and fix it. But unfortunately, while all that was happening, Mofo the Pat was in the lobby, and he got booted along with me and everybody else, and he was waiting to play Snake Eyes at the top of the hour. And of course, the match schedule went ahead at the top of the hour, but both players couldn't get in the lobby. And of course, the tournament system automatically forfeits a player and advances the other. Now, it automatically forfeited Snake Eyes and advanced Mofo. Now, Mofo was in the lobby earlier this afternoon and said that he had been contacted by Snake Eyes, who couldn't get in the lobby and therefore obviously couldn't play the game, which was unfair. And the two guys actually arranged to play their match outside the tournament, and it was played earlier tonight, and Mofo won the match 11 racks to 9. And so the bracket can remain the same. Mofo has gone through, but he's gone through a little bit more genuinely rather than being advanced, which was fair in his part because he didn't need to do it. But it was the correct outcome that both players did play. Now the other one is we have a match tomorrow afternoon that's just been arranged a little while ago, and that is round 8 on the one-loss side, and that's a race to 11, and that's going to be between Mr. Bill and Mofo, and I will have that match on the stream as well tomorrow. I should be home in plenty of time for that. Apart from that, I don't think there's anything else in the schedule. Oh yeah, the other thing is Acero was playing Cue Ball 70 the other day, and Cue Ball 70 has beaten Acero by 11 racks to 9, and that was an excellent result. Never got to see the match, but Cue Ball 70 is, I mean, I must admit, I didn't think Cue Ball would have had much of a chance against Acero, but the old master can still do it, and he's through to the next round where he's going to play Tommy U. So Tommy's going to have his hands full against Cue Ball 70. What other results did I miss? Trying to think whether there's anything else. oh yes, Albinario was playing Mr. Strocum. He must have played late last night, and Albinario has beaten Mr. Strocum by 11 racks to 5. So he's now going to play, well, tell a lie, got that wrong. He beat Vince's 11-5. I'm way ahead of myself here. So Albinario is now waiting on the loser of the Larry Cobra match. So that promises to be a big tie on the one-loss side. No matter who loses that match between Larry and Cobra, is going to be a great match against Albinario. So there's a lot of good matches building up now, and that match that we're talking about should be underway. Enough of the chit chat. Well, the room's not up yet, so we're out in plenty of time. I thought it was just beyond 8 o'clock. Now it has to be said, when Biggz played his first match, he wasn't very good, and certainly he wasn't favourite to win it. But in his next match, he played a lot better. So here's hoping in his part that he plays well tonight, because he'll need to, because Tony Sam is his opponent. And as I mentioned earlier on in the tournament, the longer Tony Sam stays in the tournament, the more play he's going to get and the better he will get. And he played well in his last match. So there we go, the tournament room is up. Both players are here. Let's dive in and get ready to rumble. So Biggz is in. Well, I presume Tony Sam was here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So both players lagging off. My little clock is about 3 or 4 minutes fast. I better get that adjusted. Tony Sam's won the lag. He breaks off. Certainly one ball has gone down, and it is the 5 ball. We'll cover the rules again. It's alternate break, and we have no jump queues in this tournament. You can still jump if you wish, or you want to attempt to, but not many players have done. It's very difficult to jump with your own playing queue. And the 9 ball is wild, as I call it, which means that if the 9 ball goes in a break, it doesn't get respotted, it counts as a rack. So you can see there's a big gulf in difference in the player ratings. Now, I'm just wondering if that's the thing that sort of frightened Biggz off in his first match, because I think he was playing Wink at Me. I'd need to double check the bracket, and maybe Biggz got a wee bit scared about the points difference. Here's hoping that's not the case. He was certainly playing a more evenly matched player in his next match, but he did play a lot better. Now, that shot there wasn't exactly one of the best for position in the 6 ball. I don't know whether that banks. It does, but he's had to go for a far-fetched long cut. He's going to have to work out better position to run these racks, because I think that's where he's going to fail. If he doesn't get these runouts when he has the chance, Tony Sam's just going to snap up what's left. But he's missed the bank, and he's got the cover, and this needs to be a big spin to get around that 9 ball. Needed an awful lot more than that. This is still not guaranteed to get on the 7 ball. These balls, I say this every time, as soon as that ball is in the pocket, it's very difficult to judge it accurately to get position. And, well, that's not bad. Now, let's see what Bill's got to say. Right. Well, my stream is up and running because I'm certainly watching it. And the stream's looking okay. And Tony Sam has won the first rack. Right, let's see. Right, just give me 2 seconds, folks, to help Bill out here. I'll be back in a second. Right. I've got my festive t-shirt on, you just can't read it. Right, sorry about the interruption there, folks. Just getting a link for one of the players. Or one of the viewers, I should say, who for some reason says that YouTube isn't showing that I'm live, but I'm most certainly live. It's working okay. So back to the game. Biggz played a poor positional shot in the 6 in that first rack when he had a chance to run out. And anyway, Tony Sam got in and tidied up. And now here's definitely a golden opportunity for Biggz here. He's got to take this out. They're just... Well, he's playing it safe because he's left it at distance, but he's perfect in the 7 just to drop onto the 8. Not a lot of work to do. Oh dear. Well, he's back to playing like what he did do in that first match, and I honestly feel that he's getting nervous because he knows that he's playing a player that will take every opportunity, and that is not a good sign early on. It has to be said. Second match, he had no pressure because he was a higher rated player, and he seemed to relax and played a much more flowing game. And this early on, it might be a bit early to say it, but he's made that poor shot on the 7 there and a poor position on the 6 in the first rack, and lo and behold, he's going to be 2-0 down. And that's how easy it is to lose racks. And he has to address that fairly quickly if he's going to hang on to Tony's coattails here, because remember, we're only a race to 11. And it's a bit of a vicious circle because he's lost 2 racks. He knows when he gets a chance he has to get the next one, and then the longer that goes on, the more pressure it builds up. The longer he doesn't win a rack, the more pressure it builds up. So he's the only player that can help himself. Nothing else can happen. He can't rely on Tony making that many mistakes. Yeah, I don't know what it is with YouTube. I mean, I know that when I go to people I've subscribed to, if I go onto YouTube, the little red light's on next to their profile ID, and you can click on their channel and you'll see them live streaming. But YouTube's going through this beta phase at the moment. You can have a beta version of YouTube, which I don't like, or the old one, which is the one I use. You've also got the normal YouTube channel, and you've got YouTube Gaming. Now, I'm watching a stream through YouTube Gaming, which gives me a nice black background so I can read the text a bit better because I'm half blind. And plus the fact I've only got an oldie 14-inch monitor on as my second monitor I use for watching the stream. Well, through all that, me waffling there, I've missed another chance that Biggz had, and Tony Sam's in again. And, well, Biggz is going to have to do something to get rid of these bad feelings I'm getting. Or Tony Sam's going to have to fall apart a bit here. That's a good cut. And that cue ball needs to run, and I think it's just run far enough. Now, I don't know whether if there was one virtual world 9-ball or virtual 9-ball world championship that I ran in VP3, and I can't remember what year it was, and I can't remember who he played. I'm sure Tony Sam got to the final and lost in the final, a fairly close final, but it should be up in Wikipedia. I think the result is up in Wikipedia under Virtual Pool 3, and in that tournament, Tony was he started off cold. Remember, that tournament was a straight knockout. Much longer runs, raced to 21 in the first round, raced to 31 in the second round up to the semi-finals, and he got better as the tournament got on, and that's my theory about this tournament as well. The longer he stays in it, the more in focus he'll become. So a dry break and an open table for Tony Sam. Let's see, he's left enough there. Yeah. Well, this match is taking the shape of the very first match that Biggz played, and I honestly think he's got this sort of mental block about the fact that he's playing somebody that he knows is more than capable. But that sort of thing going through your head is going to affect the way that you play, and you're not going to play the right way. And he has to get his act together quick. Well, Tony's gone a bit straight there, and that is, well, he managed to just steal a wee bit of angle. So it's 4-0, and I think it's Tony to break this time. Oh no, yeah it is. So that was against the head. Well, he's got a bank in the one. It's not a great bank because of the angle that he's got, but he's going to have to. Yeah, he's played it well. He's held the cue ball and he's nicely on the 2. This is going to be good though to get a shot in the 3. A little nudge would be nice. Well, he's gone beyond it, but he's actually okay. He'll have to baby this 3 ball in just to hold for the 4. I'm just worried for Biggz that at some point he's going to find himself with a wide open table, and there's going to be 9 balls on the table, and he's going to be asked to run out, and I'm wondering if he's actually going to be capable of doing it. Well, that's gone a bit too far. That now makes this shot a lot more difficult. No problem. My little doodle's working. It's 5-0 to Tony Sam. Biggz breaks off. He's come up dry again, and well, this is exactly the opposite to what I was talking about there. It's now an open table, and it's not Biggz that's at the table. Now, how aggressive is Tony going to be? Is he going to try and bank this 3? Again, it's not a great angle because the cue ball's going to go into the corner. Or is he going to look to... Well, he's went all out to cut it, so Tony Sam doesn't think that Biggz is going to be up to the task in hand when he's prepared to take cuts like that on. And Biggz has to prove himself here. And he has to get into the cue ball to get the stun up for that 5. And hit that far too hard, blasted it. Didn't settle in the shot. And that's a bad omen. He's desperate to do something, but he's not doing the right things to be able to do it. That's the problem. An open table there. You just got to settle down, play the table, forget about who you're playing, and get on with it. Because that's the only way you'll play at your best. Now he's got a good chance here to get a safe. Get that distance on the cue ball, and that's a lot better. See, there's ways to get yourself into a rack if you play wisely and not wildly. But Tony's got the hit. He's got it safe. Well, he could try banking this in the corner, but that's going to have to bounce, and he's left it short again. That had to run another 5 inches to get cover behind that 6 ball, but this is not easy to go on the 5, so Tony's having to dig right into the cue ball, and didn't get into it enough. Well, Tony has got a good guide in the 6 ball here just to thin that 5, just brush it. And that's exactly what I would have tried to do. And the end result is pretty good. There's a thin edge, and Biggz, if he gets this right, if he played it with enough English, he could try and tuck up. Oh, he's hit the 9, and that's blew him out the water. He needed to get that thin with a lot of left English to try and tuck the cue ball down by the 8 ball. So, we're heading for 6-0. I'm heading for my reserve bottle of water. Remember you linking the... Remember you linking the beat sounds? What the hell does that mean? You're going to have to decipher that one for me. And no, I won't be streaming at 3 AM. I'll be see it as soon as this match is finished. I'm off to bed because my last shift tomorrow starts at 4 AM, so I have to get up at 2 AM. So there's effectively 10 minutes before I'm in my bed, and the way this match is going, I reckon I won't be that far off it. Straight off the stream, straight into bed, and hopefully finishing before noon tomorrow. And we'll have Bill's match on in the afternoon. That'll be a good one to watch. Well, I did say to Tony the other day there that if he gets through this match, everything else after this match is against class players. We're talking top drawer, potential winners of the tournament, so that's going to be Tony's big test when he comes up against one of these guys. And another delicate little cut in this 7. Now it's already sitting at 6-0, and the one thing that hasn't happened is that Tony's made a mistake in the last couple of balls, but lo and behold, he's made a mistake. He's not left it easy, but it's a chance for Biggz, and he needs to watch the scratch here. If he overhits this, and he's hit it into the rail, and that's his chance gone. Oh, well, he's going to double it. He might still have another chance. Tony get away with that one. Or is he going to have a blast at this 9? Try and thin it down the rail? No. He's going to make Biggz work for it. Well, he has to be careful if he's going to go that direction. And he's went all out, and disaster has followed. So it's 7-0 to Tony Sam. Well, Biggz had his chance. He had his chance. And Biggz breaks off. And of course, when you're 7-0 down and you break off and you get a ball in the break, it's natural that you're never going to be seeing the next ball. He had no shot. And straight away, Tony Sam is in. Once again, though, this 2-ball, Tony can actually try and squeeze behind the 4, or he can go forward with a lot of inside English and try and go up the right hand side. He's tried to get up behind the 4, but unfortunately hit the 6. How does that look? Not too promising. He's going for the combo. No. Well, the 3-ball was never going past the 7, so I don't know why he played that. Who's, remind me who, is that Miss OK? Or I can't read that. Is it MI66OK? Who's that again? Because I think you must be on the grapefruit juice. Your typing's a bit slurred. So, Tony Sam is cruising here under no pressure whatsoever. And unless he totally balls up this 9 ball here, it's going to be 8-0. And we've seen absolutely nothing of Biggz, and what we have seen has not been very good. So Tony breaks off in rack number 9. Something went into the bottom left. It was a 3 ball. He's going to drop the 1 ball in dead weight. Now, is he going to be able to squeeze something out of there? Bit of left-hand English. Needs to watch the 9 though. And he didn't really go through with it. He's left it short. But he can get a good safety here if he wants. An easy enough safety. Or he can go all out for the thin cut. He might as well. Yeah. Use the 2 balls to hold for the 5. And now it's wide open. Now what does he do? This is a little bit delicate to go on this 7 ball. And he's managed to hold it. Well, he's overdone that one slightly. A bit too much juice. He had the left-hand English to check the cue ball, but the pace just took it away. But once again, he's buried the 8, no problem. And should take care of the 9 for 9-0. Yeah, I thought there was alcohol involved. Well, the 3 ball and the 1 ball have gone in, and of course, as you would guess, poor Biggz has got no shot in the 2, and the table is wide open again. Now, he's just decided to have a blast. And clearly, the push-out strategy wasn't going to come into the equation. Now, you've got to do what the best you can to try and keep yourself in the match. I would have played the push out. Okay, Tony could have pushed it back, but at the same time, you've got to try and just keep yourself in the game. Anything can happen. And Biggz is going to need a bit of luck there, and I think he's got it. So here we go. Tony Sam's kick to 5, sorry. And this is Bigg's chance. Watch the pace up the left-hand side of the table with this cue ball. But misses a jaw. Oh, that's done him a favour slightly. But he's got to watch the pace again to leave himself a half-decent shot in this 7. Well, this is the right angle to go on the 8, but can you get this 7? Now this is fairly easy, this 7 ball. Just cut it in. The cue ball, he's just not lining these up at all. I think his heart and souls went out this match probably a bit earlier in the scoreline, and all it means for me is that I'm going to get to my bed on time. Well, this is not cut and dried, this 8 ball, but Tony's got it without a problem. So this for 10. And Tony breaking off in the rack that he needs to go through to the next round. It's dry. Once again, good chance of a half decent safety here on this 1 ball. Likewise for Tony, if he can thin that 1, thin it. He's not even prepared to do that, but if he'd thinned it, he could have the cue ball somewhere in about there. Yeah, this is actually like night and day. Biggz started off like this, his first match, played much better than his second match, and now he's back to square one. That would be the proper definition of hot and cold. And it just so happens that he's blowing very cold when he's been playing good players. Well, I think Tony's... Oh, he's okay. We're trying to make an angle out of that there, but so here's a 4-9 combo for Biggz to get him. Oh, sorry, Tony, not Biggz. For Tony to finish the match, and that's it. It's all over. It is 8:33, and Tony wins the match 11-0. Not a lot to be said about that, and not a lot to be taken from that either. So let's have a quick look at the bracket to see how that shapes things up before I nip off to bed. How long was that? About 39 minutes. In fact, there's a lot less than that. It's only about 33 minutes the match has been going. Where is he on this bracket? Right, so there's a reminder. Mr. Bill is playing Mof with the Pat. That's an all USA match tomorrow at 3 PM GMT. Where the hell's that match? This bloody bracket. Am I just blind? I can't see these things. Mr. Strocum, Albinario. Albinario's there. Vinces is there. Where's Tony Sam? Oh, there we go. So, Tony Sam is now through to round 7, and he will then be playing the loser of this match. Now, I have to say that whoever loses that match and ends up playing Tony Sam, with the greatest of respect to either player there, neither of those two players are hot favourites for this tournament. And but they're good enough. Both of these players are good enough to cause Tony problems. They're more likely to hold themselves together to actually win a rack than what Biggz did in that match. So it's only a short race to 11. So Tony will be, there'll be a few more questions asked of Tony in that match when he comes to it, so he won't find it quite so easy, I don't think. Anyway, that about covers it. Remember, anybody that wants to watch it, Mr. Bill is going to be playing Yamaguchi Taru, and that is tomorrow morning. Sorry, no Yamaguchi Taru, the match is bloody finished. Not Mr. Bill. Larry is going to be playing Cobra tomorrow at 7 AM GMT. That's 1 AM in the morning Larry's time, whatever suits him. And Cobra's from the UK, race to 16, so if you can get a chance to watch that, guys. And with that, I am off to bed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow at some point if you want to join us. So thanks for watching, guys, and a good night.